In our headlines, EVFTA expected to be ratified in October. Locals encouraged to refrain from using plastic bags.
Thiết kế hoàn toàn mới, lay động mọi giác quan. Tiện nghi đẳng cấp, công nghệ tân tiến. An toàn vượt trội trong phân khúc. Cảm xúc ngập tràn mọi cung đường. Hyundai Santa Fe thế hệ hoàn toàn mới, bứt phá tiên phong.
Singapore to buy US-made F-35 fighter jets.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
You are watching a live edition of VTV News on Saturday. On the 70th anniversary of Vietnam Military Medical University, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc stated that the university needs to become a regional and international medical training center. At the event, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc praised the achievements of the university over the past 70 years and congratulated them for the second Ho Chi Minh Medal that it received this morning. The Prime Minister affirmed that all students must remember their moral standards during their study and work and urged the university to apply advanced technology to their diagnosis and treatments so that doctors and nurses can take good care of the people's health. The EU market accounts for 20% of the total export turnover of Vietnam, valued at roughly $45 billion. With the prospect of the Vietnam-EU Free Trade Agreement expected to be ratified this year, this figure can climb even higher. We find out more about this prospect in a following report.
According to a survey by Eurocharm, 82% of European enterprises in Vietnam believe this is an ideal time to invest and do business in Vietnam.
In Asia, the EU over the last 2 years has signed a free trade agreement with Japan, with Singapore, and Vietnam is the third in less than 1 year who probably will sign a free trade agreement with us.
Eurocharm's chairman said that the process of ratifying the EVFTA has been partly delayed on the EU side. The prospect of the EVFTA for Vietnam, however, have been highly favorable.
Prime Minister Mr. Phuc could sign this EVFTA agreement. Then it will go to the Parliament in Europe, which we hope it will be around September, October to be ratified.
Concerning Brexit, the British ambassador to Vietnam stressed that a new free trade agreement between the UK and Vietnam will soon be established.
We will have a new bilateral trade agreement with Vietnam that is similar in its ambition. There's a high level of liberalisation and reduction of tariffs.
During the first 2 months of the year, Vietnam had a trade surplus with the EU of $4.1 billion. Currently, the EU remains the second largest export market for Vietnam, behind only the US.
Vietnam is a large exporter of agriculture and footwear, and we can be the EU's gateway into Southeast Asia.
The EU countries invested nearly $50 billion into Vietnam in 2018, with 3,000 projects spread across all sectors of the economy.
For 2 consecutive years, Japan has been the #1 investor in Vietnam, and now Japanese investors are turning their attention to real estate. The sector is considered to have a lot of potential for foreign investors. In 2018, FDI in real estate sector accounted for 18.8% of all foreign direct investment.
500 real estate investors, including many of Japan's largest investors, have been attending a series of workshops in Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya that revolve around real estate products in Vietnam. Real estate ownership policies and opportunities for foreign investors are just some of the topics in the workshops.
I think more and more Japanese investors are becoming interested in Vietnam's real estate. Maybe they will increase their investments in Vietnam after 2 or 3 years. Many investors here are interested, but I think 5 to 10 years from now will be the right time to invest.
According to experts, the average price of Vietnam's real estate in 2018 increased by 10%. The growth rate is expected to rise by 10% in 2019 and 2020. According to the evaluation of the Asia Pacific Property Research Institute, real estate in Ho Chi Minh City ranks 7th in terms of global investment potential.
Vietnam's economic and political stability, as well as its rapid growth rate, are the essential factors that real estate investors need to consider. The population there is large and is mostly located in urban areas, so housing issues are a real matter of concern.
A series of workshops in Japan introducing Vinhome's child stock company's VinCity project has been organized by Vietnam Group, a strategic Vietnamese agent in the Japanese market.
Organic farming models, including the use of net houses and hydroponic vegetable farming, have brought positive results to the farming areas of Đông Tháp province. This is part of the province's improvement in production methods to produce high-quality products. Let's take a look.
This is one of the Long Thuot's Clean Vegetables Cooperative's net houses. It used to grow organic vegetables and cost approximately $43,000. In just 1 year, the economic efficiency of these net houses was proven. Almost every month, the cooperative collects about 3 tons of mustard leaves, which are often sold at a higher price than market price. According to the cooperative's leaders, net houses have helped reduce the reproduction costs from 25 to 30% compared to household farms.
We do not use chemical fertilizers, so our costs are lower compared to others. Moreover, the environment is harmful to the vegetables, and there are a lot of pests. In a net house, there are not any pests or diseases.
Nguyen Phu Việt Cường hydroponic farming model has proven to be much more effective than the traditional methods of growing vegetables. Though he doesn't completely use organic fertilizer, the method that he uses to nourish the vegetables is guaranteed to eliminate the residues of harmful heavy metals or toxic substances.
Vegetables grown using traditional methods are often sold for 65 to 70 US cents at the market. My vegetables can sell for twice that amount. We will be applying smart irrigation models to the fruit trees. We are now testing smart fertilizers on the local mango trees.
The misuse of fertilizers and plant protection chemicals in agriculture production drives up prices and reduces the competitiveness of the products. Clean production is a fundamental long-term solution for agriculture. The authorities of Đông Tháp province have also helped develop organic farming in the region.
The authorities of Tiên Phước District, Quảng Nam province have detected 2 areas that have been infected with AH5N6 bird flu. Over 5,200 chickens have already been burnt to prevent the spread. After a report was issued on a possible infection, the local authorities immediately collected a sample and sent it for testing. The sample showed that 2 flocks of chickens had been infected with AH5N6 bird flu. The area was isolated, and the local authorities blocked fowls from being transported out of the district. Chicken farmers are now being advised to vaccinate their chickens and lock them up so they do not become infected. Localities throughout Vietnam are taking concrete measures to prevent the spread of African swine fever. In Kiên Giang province, inspection stations have been set up at traffic hubs in Châu Thành, Kiên Lương, An Biên, An Minh and Vĩnh Thuận in order to control the import of pigs and pork products from other provinces.
Inspection stations were established on March the 3rd and have been operated by veterinarians, traffic police and market managers. All vehicles transporting cattle and poultry must be checked for their certificate of origin and quality.
Certificates of origin of these pigs will be checked to make sure they are healthy.
This is the gateway to Rekza City. About 15 to 20 trucks transporting pigs to Chotang district and other provinces pass here every day. The inspection station here operates 24 hours a day. Members of the inspecting team are assigned to check all pig transport trucks on Highway 61 and Highway 80.
All the pigs are healthy and in good condition. There's no African swine fever epidemic in Kienzang province.
98,000 pigs are transported to Kienzang province every year. Cattle and poultry are transported regularly, and that poses a potential risk for African swine fever to spread across border routes and in other provinces where the pigs come from. The most effective preventive measure now is to conduct health checkups for pigs in trucks coming into and out of other provinces.
Local authorities instruct farmers to take preventive measures. Antiseptic substances are sprayed over the pigsties twice a day, once in the morning and once in the afternoon.
African swine fever does not spread to humans and poultry, but this disease is very dangerous because pigs die quickly and there's no vaccine for it. Localities are now tightening their control on trading, slaughtering and transporting pigs and pork products without clear origin in order to prevent outbreaks of the disease in the province.
Coming up next, locals encouraged to refrain from using plastic bags. Atelier Theatre de Hanoi, an art space for children of multiple nationalities. A campaign themed Clearing Plastic Waste was held this morning as part of the activities for Action for Environment Month in Ho Chi Minh City. The event saw the attendance of consulate officers, international organizations and local residents. Participants are being encouraged to reduce the use of plastic bags and to use recyclable and compostable materials instead. The event is expected to occur regularly to raise awareness so that they can use more environmentally friendly products and collect plastic waste. 700 silk bags were given to merchants and customers at Bến Thành Market. It was a message to locals to start saving the environment with everyday habits. Each station on the Cát Linh Hà Đông urban railway will be accommodating many bus route stops to make things more convenient for passengers, according to a statement of Hanoi Public Transport Management and Operations Center. The center plans to put 65 bus stops along the Cát Linh Hà Đông urban railway, and the distance between each stop will be about 400 meters. All relevant units have reached an agreement to connect the bus system with 12 stations on the urban railway. The 7th annual Bournemouth Coffee Festival took place this morning after preparations are made by the Central Highlands province of Đắk Lắk. Accordingly, authorities are working to ensure social order and standards for food hygiene during the festival. Inspections were enhanced in order to ensure that local service prices will be stabilized. The festival features a wide range of activities, including the 2019 Đắk Lắk Investment Promotion Conference, an exhibition on coffee, a seminar on the development of Vietnamese specialty coffee, a photography exhibition on the history of coffee, a street festival, a contest for farmers, the elephant festival, and a cooking competition. The Bournemouth Coffee Festival this year focuses on specialty coffee, which first appeared about 30 years ago in the United States to distinguish itself from premium coffee. Currently, its market share is about 2% of the world's coffee production, but the value is always 3 to 5 times higher than regular coffee.
From 2015 to 2017, Đắk Lắk province sent 130 samples of coffee with Bournemouth's geographical indication to international experts for evaluation. Now 10% of the samples are eligible to be labeled as specialty coffee.
Specialty coffee must be selected carefully, starting from the picking stage. The fruit must ripen just enough. If you pick the right fruits, it will bring out a unique coffee flavor that you cannot find in regular coffee.
In order to make specialty coffee, farmers must strictly comply with strict standards from nourishing, harvesting to preliminary processing and preserving. In return, businesses can purchase the coffee at about 43 cents higher for each kilogram.
If the coffee price is as low as it is right now, we will incur losses if we continue using traditional methods. The new method will guarantee profits though.
At the 7th Bournemouth Coffee Festival, Đắk Lắk province will honor specialty coffee, a new high-end product that represents Vietnam's coffee sector.
We want to develop and promote the local specialty coffee to meet the demands of the world and also to support coffee farmers.
Since it only accounts for 2% of the world's coffee production, it is not easy to achieve the specialty coffee certification. According to coffee experts, once the coffee with Bournemouth's geographical indication penetrates this market, Vietnamese coffee in general and Đắk Lắk's coffee in particular will make its mark on the world's class coffee map.
Nearly 1,500 boat women currently work in Ninh Bình province as tour guides. These friendly and hospitable women have been contributing to the local development at the tourism hub of Tràng An complex.
These boat women start work at 5 a.m. They often carry a basket-tote bag in order to bring rice, food and water. These bags are the most indispensable items of these local boat women.
My basket tote bag is used to carry my food and water and other necessary items, such as these wooden pieces. They are used in case two boats crash into each other.
When there are more tourists, the boat women have more work. Previously, they had to struggle doing farm work, but now they earn much more as boat women. Each rowboat trip costs tourists nearly $8.5.
Of course, farm work is harder than rolling tourists in the river. My life has changed so much since I started working as a boat woman.
People who visit Tràng An complex should definitely take a boat trip with a local boat woman. Their hospitality and friendliness is a special attraction of this beautiful land. Sitting on a boat while listening to a boat woman tell stories and sing is an unforgettable memory for many visitors that come here. The hidden charms of these graceful boat women leave a long-lasting impression on tourists.
Founded in 2014 by two French theatre artists, Atelier Theatre de Hanoi, or ATH, aims to create a space of art practice accessible to all people in all walks of life. In our Culture Watch this week, let's join a typical class of ATH to see how the teachers there manage to connect their little students coming from so different cultural backgrounds and languages together.
The atmosphere here might seem chaotic and noisy, but actually, these children are practicing some essential skills in theatre acting, including pronunciation and vocal strength, quick reflexes, getting creative with body movements, and improvising on the spot. It can be easily observed that the students in the class come from different places. Some are Vietnamese, some European.
I really like drama. I think the drama class here is very fun. In addition, I can also create my own characters and do whatever I want with them. Since I was a child, I've always liked improv, and I watch a lot of them.
I've been practicing drama for 2 years. I like it a lot because it makes me feel braver and more confident. I also like the teachers here. They are funny and never scold us.
With an initial desire to make the art of drama accessible to everyone, 5 years ago, Contang and Marianne, two French theatre artists, had come together to establish this art space after several years of research and work experiences in Vietnam.
Here we offer classes in 3 languages, English, French and Vietnamese. Our teachers come from many different countries and most of them can speak 2 to 3 languages. Therefore, in class, they can easily switch from one language to another. With such a crew of teachers, they can help establish a habit for the students as they are always in a space of cultural connectedness.
Not only students, ATH also boasts international crew of teachers. Starting from one weekly drama workshop for the French-speaking community in Hanoi, gradually, ATH has expanded its courses to include more types of arts, such as improv, music, dance, and plastic arts. The newest addition, the sensory awakening classes for toddlers, have also garnered positive responses. An art space of great cultural diversity like ATH has not only opened doors for people to get to know the arts, but also acts as a bridge to connect people of different ages, cultures, and nationalities together for the common enthusiasm of arts.
In our world news, Singapore to buy US-made F-35 fighter jets. Chinese families of MH370 passengers continue search for relatives. Singapore plans to buy 12 US-made F-35 jet fighters, one of the most advanced warplanes ever built, with its aim of modernizing all military forces, including their army and navy forces. The Singaporean defense minister said on Friday that the city-state will put in a request for the US military aircraft builder Lockheed Martin. The sale will have to be approved by US Congress, but it has the backing of the US administration. F-35 jets are capable of connecting pilots in combat operations. With this plan, Singapore becomes the first country in Southeast Asia to own US-made F-35 fighter jets. Singapore starts carrying out their plan with an initial purchase of 4 advanced F-35 models. South Korea and the United States signed a formal agreement on Friday, which calls for an 8.2% hike in Seoul's share of the cost of stationing American troops here. The two sides agreed that the signing of the Special Measures Agreement reflects their robust alliance. According to South Korean Foreign Minister Kang Kyung-ha, this becomes the foundation that the alliance will build upon to become stronger and greater. The South Korean government has completed related administrative procedures with the signing of the pact. They plan to submit the accord to the National Assembly next week for ratification, with the aim of putting it into effect in April. It has been 5 years since the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, but many Chinese families continue their search for relatives. More to follow.
This 60-year-old farmer still lives in the hope that his son is still alive. His son was one of the 239 passengers on the fateful flight that mysteriously disappeared on March the 8th, 2014. After the plane vanished, he has abandoned his farmland and frequently traveled to Beijing to attend meetings with Malaysian representatives, hoping to find out more about what happened to his son.
I am keeping these tickets and receipts as evidence to show Malaysia Airlines and the Malaysian government that we will never give up. We will never give up looking for our children and seeking the truth.
Around 40 people gathered outside the Chinese Foreign Ministry on Friday to ask authorities for more information on the missing flight.
I believe our family members are definitely alive. So much evidence has shown that our family members did not die.
It has been exactly 5 years since the plane disappeared on a journey from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing, 239 people on board. Efforts to locate the aircraft have so far been unsuccessful.
The number of cybercrimes confirmed by police nationwide in 2018, including many cases of child pornography and fraud, stood at 9,040, rising slightly to reach a record high for the third consecutive year. This is the latest data shown by Japan's National Police Agency on Thursday. Among the 9,040 cybercrimes, the highest number at 2,057 were related to child prostitution and child pornography, followed by 972 cases of fraud and 926 related to juveniles, such as sexual misconduct involving youth aged 18 or younger through online dating. The agency also said the number of targeted email attacks in Japan hit a record high of 6,740 last year.